Hi everybody. It's hard to believe we are already a few days into the final module for the course. You all did a very nice job conducting statistical inference in the context of the multiple linear regression model to finish up module 3 last week. I do have a couple of general comments about the multiple linear regression model. First, your interpretations are always going to be far more meaningful and impactful if you pay close attention and include the units of measurement. For example, the statement, a 1-unit increase in education leads to a 5-unit increase in income is really unclear. What are the units of measurement? Is income measured in dollars, thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars? What about education? Is it measured in years, degrees? Be clear about the units of measurement. For example, saying a 1-year increase in education is associated with a $5,000 increase in annual income is far more meaningful. Next, this might seem like a really small thing, but it's actually really important. When interpreting estimates in the multiple linear regression models we saw in Module 3, remember that those estimated coefficients are giving us the independent or partial effects, just the relationship between that particular x and the y variable, or average y variable. This is important to keep in mind. After all, this is why we include additional x variables even when our research question is just focused on one particular x variable. Because when we include those additional variables, we're holding those effects constant when estimating the effect, or we're holding those factors constant when estimating the effect of the relationship of interest. So it's giving us that independent relationship. We're holding those other x's constant. This also can help us at times make reason of what at first might seem like strange results. Let me give you a quick, albeit simple, example of this. Let's suppose that our outcome of interest, our y variable, is house prices. And let's say that we have two x variables. x1 is square footage. x2 is an indicator variable for whether the house has a den or a bonus room type of thing. And we estimate with least squares, and we find the coefficient on the square footage variable is positive as expected, and the coefficient on the den variable is negative, maybe even statistically significant. That seems strange. Having a den decreases house prices? Well, no. Keep in mind that that coefficient in that simple model, where we just have y equals a linear function of x1 plus x2, that coefficient on x2, the den variable, is the effect of having a den holding all other x's constant, or in this example, holding square footage constant. So in other words, that den is coming at the sacrifice of a bigger bedroom, a bigger kitchen, maybe an extra bathroom, who knows? But that's what you should imagine. That effect is giving us a comparison in house prices between two homes, equal square footage. One has a den and one doesn't. So the one that has a den, once again, necessarily has to be stealing that square footage, so to speak, from somewhere else in the home. This is just important in general to always thoroughly examine and interpret your results. This is critical to do before you ever maybe jump to thinking you need some new advanced technique because it appears that your results need to be fixed in some way. Thoroughly investigate them before ever thinking that they need to be fixed. Okay, just wanted to make those points. They're small but important points. Pay attention to units of measurement when interpreting coefficients, and remember that in the multiple linear regression models we saw in Module 3, they're only giving us those independent effects. Those other variables are being held constant by the way the model is constructed. This week, we'll see how, in a quite simple way, we can allow for the effect of one x variable to depend on some other x variable or variables in the model. In other words, we can get a better estimate of the effect of having a den without having to sacrifice the square footage. and this is done through interaction terms, which is one of the topics of this week. Anyways, keep up the great work. We're coming down the home stretch. Please always reach out if you have any questions, and take care.